I know we have a number of new faces today, so welcome to what I call Mindful Weekend Yoga. And we've been doing this class over the last 3.5 years now, most Saturdays, together in community from all over the world. And so it's been fun for me, and I hope fun for all of you who join. And today's class, as those of you who are on the list know, I'm going to teach in honor of my very first yoga student, whose name was Suzi, and she passed away in the last few weeks of breast cancer. But she was a beautiful, live, loving, warm spirit that always showed up with a hot pink mat. And I have ordered a hot pink mat in her honor, but it hasn't arrived, so I wore hot pink instead because that was the best I could do. And so in her honor, we're going to focus on this idea of love and hope and this idea of collective hearts. And many of you have commented, I don't know if you can see from far away, but I have this new heart necklace, which comes from a company called Collective Hearts. It's actually run also by a yoga teacher. And the idea of collective hearts is showing up collectively to bring more love into the world. And the idea that I teach very often in these classes is that love is a powerful activating force. And we often think of it as fluff. And yet when we come from love, that's where we make our most aligned and beautiful decisions. And Suzi always came from love and always showed up with this very activated, loving energy. And for those of us in medicine, I think we sometimes get out of the love energy, thinking things are more serious. And so the invitation is to bring that lightness and love back into the caring and the living and the loving and the enjoying. And that's what Suzi would have wished for all of us. And so I was going to start today, which I don't usually do, with a little bit of music as we settle into a moment of mindfulness. And so if you can find a comfortable spot on your mat, and for those of you who are new, I recommend sitting up on a block or a bolster so your hips are above your knees to open up the hip flexors and begin that process of settling your nervous system and coming into calm. And so find your ischial spines and connect them into the earth beneath you. Connect into that centeredness and groundedness, and tilt your pelvic bowl forward and align your spine, stacking it all the way up through the crown of your head. Reaching your crown of your head towards the sky, lengthening and growing. Taking in a huge inhale breath and an exhale breath, letting it out. And one more big inhale in through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. And I invite you to come into hand to heart, a position that we come into often in these classes, bringing one hand to the heart and the other hand atop, hand to hand, hand to heart, connecting right to that heart space, this idea of collective hearts, caring for our hearts and showing up with love. And we'll sit here hand to heart for a few moments as we listen to this song that I often play at Sagrada, and it seemed perfect for opening up this class.
Bless everyone. May our love
your breath. Noticing your hand to hand and hand to heart. Noticing that skin to skin. And noticing your heartbeat underneath your hands. Taking a moment to connect to your heart and that feeling of love underneath. Taking a moment to attend to it. To attend to what it feels like to experience love and to share it. And to spread your wings and bring it out into the world. And that's the invitation of this idea of collective hearts, leading with your heart, front and center. And the invitation of today's class is how can we all do that in our lives, in our families? How can we show up growing love, not waiting for love or noticing it, but actively growing it, leading with our hearts, showing up with love front and center. Many of you who've come to my classes for a long time and worked with me know I often ask this question, what would love do? And love would lead with your heart, and love would grow love. And love would come back to this idea of love, not just love for others, but beginning with love and kindness for yourself. Because when we don't begin there, it's not actually love. And so filling yourself up in this moment with love and kindness, perhaps just for showing up here for this period on your mat, and perhaps for this greater cause of showing up in the world, such as it is in this moment, leading with love. And in the spirit of Suzi leading with fun and laughter. Knowing that that is the path forward for most of us, the path forward to a life of more alignment and more joy and more love. And if for any of you that feels far away, just 1% more. 1% more love, 1% more laughter, 1% more aligned and connected. Little by little. And so we'll bring our hands together, rubbing them together, creating a little bit of warmth, bringing your thumbs into your sternum and coming back to the breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And once again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And setting an intention around this idea of love and collective hearts and leading with love, with your heart front and center as the invitation of this heart necklace. But what might that look like? What might that look like today on your mat, in the long weekend ahead, and in the weeks and months ahead? When you're ready, we'll lower our hands and open our eyes and let that light back in, taking a moment to transition and to adapt, letting your eyes accommodate, letting your body and physiology accommodate. Bringing your hands lightly to your sides. Inhale, bring both arms up towards the sky. Right thumb and middle finger will grab the left wrist and lengthen, reach tall, grow tall, stretch your spine, stretch your side body. Huge breaths in. And exhale, tip to the right gently. Left hip connects into the earth, stretching the left ribs and lungs, opening them up. Breathing in all of that love, that pool of love that we've bathed ourselves in, a pool of kindness and caring. Exhale, gaze over that left shoulder if it's okay with your neck. Breathing out any tightness, resistance, ick that needs to go. Another huge breath in of that love and kindness. Sending it to every cell and every nook and cranny. Exhale, gaze over that left shoulder and blow it out. Coming back to center, switching the clasp of your hands. Inhale, reach tall, lengthen both side bodies, reach as tall as you can. Lengthen with kindness. Exhale, tip to the left, right hip connects into the earth, whole right side body opens up gently, and exhale. Inhale, opening the ribs and the lungs even farther. Sending the breath and loving kindness to every cell and every nook and cranny in the base of the lungs. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder and let it out. One more big breath here. Tug that right wrist, gently to the left. And exhale, blowing it over the right shoulder with kindness. Release. Coming back to center, open your arms out towards the side walls. Press your fists, your palms into the side walls. Reach your arms straight. Extend your elbows. Pinch your scapula together and enjoy all of those sensations. Tight, tight, tight. Exhale, release. Once again, pinch the scapula together as you spread your fingers wide. Enjoy the sensations. Exhale, release. Wrap your arms around in front. Today, left elbow under right first to mix it up. Keep your brains alive and awake, prevent Alzheimer's. Wiggle your fingers to the medial edge of the scapula and lift your elbows up over your chest, giving yourself a huge hug. Growing love for yourself. And if love is a struggle, it can just be kindness. Lifting your elbows up as you breathe in. Exhale, lower your elbows into your belly. Untangle your arms, stretch them wide. Press the palms into the side walls. Wrists are at 90 degrees. Fingers spread wide, 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 and enjoy all those sensations. Pinch the scapula together. Lots of sensations to allow and enjoy. Exhale, release. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction, so right elbow under left. Another huge hug. Wiggle your fingers to the medial scapula. Lift your elbows up over your chest to be kind. Huge inhale. And exhale, round forward. Drop your chin to upper back. And squeezing tight at the same time. Enjoy all the sensations. And remembering you can give yourself a hug anytime. Exhale, release. Squeeze tighter. Inhale, coming right. Untangle your arms. Stretch them wide once again. Wrists flexed, fingers spread wide. Squeeze your hands tight and flick the water away 5 times. Squeezing, releasing. Enjoying the sensations. Having a little joy as you flick your fingers out and a little bit of fun. Lowering your hands to the earth. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears as high as you can and drop your occiput into them and enjoy all those sensations. Love involves joy and being in the moment. Release the shoulders and take a moment to enjoy all of those sensations. Wiggle your fingers lightly. Love doesn't take things too seriously. Taking a moment to notice how you feel, already perhaps a little bit different. Taking your fingers, clasp them at your sacrum. Press your fists to the floor, shoulders down and back, and drop your chin to chest. Bringing your chin towards your heart. You're bowing your chin towards your heart. Taking a moment to connect with your heart space. And this idea of collective hearts. This yoga class is filled with healers from all over the world. But connecting to the collective hearts of all the humans in the world that you love, that you care for, that care for you. That extra power in the collective hearts of people coming together, leading with love. Allowing that concept just to percolate into every cell. Perhaps sending that warm feeling around. There's another cardiologist I know that says warm hearts create warm hearts. And this idea that what we send out changes things. Lower your chin a tiny bit farther to your chest and reach your fingers a tiny bit farther behind you. If you have tingles, release. It's too much. Huge breath in, right into that pocket behind your heart space that's often stuck, creating space for your heart to fill. And exhale, release. Release your fingers, shake it out. And we'll take out whatever you happen to be sitting on and extend your legs long in front. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way with kindness. Your knees will be bent gently. Ischial spines are reaching down into the earth. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward. Align your spine all the way towards the sky once again, using your belly, reaching tall, and reach both arms up towards the sky. Fingers are light. Exhale, fold forward towards your toes. Release the back and the back of the legs once again. Head and neck will fall, and your knees will settle towards the floor in a space that's comfortable. Allowing the stretch and the opening with kindness, breathing into the tight spots with love and kindness. Bathing each cell with that oxygen in a loving, caring way. Huge breath in, sending nourishment and nurturing everywhere. And exhale, let it out, and fold forward a smidge more, releasing, letting go, softening. As we soften, we create more room for some of these good feelings. We often hold things so tight, we don't let them in. Breathing in, and on the exhale, soften and hinge forward a teensy bit more. Slowly slide up your shins to your knees, to your thighs, upright. Engage your belly. You'll take your right sole of your foot, bring it into the left inner thigh. Knee is going to come out 90 degrees. Take a moment to move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Left leg extending long. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the left and fold forward, reaching for the outer edge of the left foot or the left ankle, and allow your head and neck to drop. Your right rib cage is going to pop open. Breathing into it. Huge breath in. And out, hinge forward a smidge more, release. And enjoy that right ribs and right upper waist, creating space. And breathing in that kindness, love, nourishment, maybe possibility. Sliding up over that left leg, we're going to take our right hand, drop it right behind the right hip. Press into your hand, drop your right knee to the floor, lifting up, coming into Wild Thing, stretching long the whole left side body, opening up, wiggle your fingers, and enjoy that lengthening. Enjoy everything here. Huge breath in, have a little fun with it. Enjoy every nook and cranny of that left side body with intention, bathing it with oxygen and space and stretch and alignment. Exhale, let it out. Lower your hips, and we'll come back to face front. Even your hips out. Move the flesh of your seat with kindness here. And you'll bring your left sole of your foot into the right inner thigh. Knee comes out at 90 degrees. Right leg is straight. Engage your belly to protect your back. You'll reach both arms up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, twist gently to the right. Fold forward over that right shin, foot, calf, whatever works for you. And breathe into the left rib cage, bathing it with breath, oxygen, and this idea of love. This idea of leading with your heart, leading with care. We spend so much time leading with push. What would it look like to lead with love, growing seeds of love, rather than worrying about all the doing? What would that look like and feel like? Breathing it into the tiny nooks and crannies in the base of the lungs, and exhaling any resistance or discomfort or idea that that might be fluff. Huge breath in, exhale, release a tiny bit farther over that leg. Perhaps bend your right elbow with kindness. It's not a push or a to-do, it's a release and a let go. Oftentimes, in order to connect with some of these new ideas, we have to let go and soften. Use the breath to help you soften, breathing into every little pocket of tightness in the back of that right leg. Exhale, fold forward and enjoy. Coming up that right thigh, you'll bring your left hand directly behind your left hip, about 18 inches. Press it into the earth. Drop your right toes to the left. Left knee comes to the floor. Pick up your hips and stretch your right arm over. Coming into Wild Thing on this side. Reach the right hand as far to the left as you can. Whole right side body gets to enjoy. Breathing into every nook and cranny. Outer edge of the right foot presses into the earth. Huge breath in, bathing every tiny cell that needs some attention. Sending love to every single one, thanking it for all its work to keep you going this week, this month, and for your lifetime. Exhale, release. And have a little fun with this one. Breathing in and enjoying. Exhale, lower your hips. Coming back to stretch both legs in front. Move the flesh of your seat, engage your belly, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward once again, evening things out, and release your head and neck. Attending to the transitions, we often move on to the next pose before allowing our body to integrate. Huge breath in here, letting things even out both sides. Exhale, release, bend your elbows, fold forward, and pause here to enjoy. To bathe every cell in the back of the legs with some attention, with some breath. Notice your back opening, things softening. Exhale, fold forward, release. Sliding up your knees to your thighs. We're going to sweep our legs around underneath us with grace, coming into hands and knees. Tabletop position. Spread your fingers wide, wide, wide to take good care of your wrists. Equal pie shapes between each finger. All 10 palmar surface of the knuckles presses into the floor, and flatten your palms into the floor to protect your wrists. Elbows are engaged. Knees are hips width, and find your belly button. Inhale into cow pose and luxuriate in the front of your belly here. Your sit bones reach towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. And take a moment here to enjoy this. It's a bit of an awkward pose. Inhale and exhale here. Notice the stretch in the front of the belly, sending love to every tiny cell there. On the next exhale, round into cat, sucking your navel up, moving with love rather than fear. We so often move with fear and live in fear. What would happen? Inhale into cow. If you moved from a place of love, leading with your heart, we all led with our hearts. Even as I say that, I can hear the old hypervigilance. What would happen? We have to be ever careful. But what if we didn't? What if we led with collective hearts? Exhale, round into cat. Stretching the spine, reaching your navel as high as you can. Drop your head to the floor and enjoy this in a delicious way. Coming back to hands and knees. We're going to lower our forearms to the floor. Coming into puppy pose. Lower your forehead to the floor. You can wiggle your hands a little bit farther in front and enjoy the shoulder stretch. Wiggling each finger a little farther and a little farther forward. Your heart is hanging lightly. Chest is open. This is a chest opener, and enjoy it. 3 breaths here into every pocket of tightness. With each breath, acknowledging that tightness was your shoulders taking good care of you, bathing them with love and care and kindness. Not being frustrated that they're tight, but sending them love and appreciation. Noticing that when we treat body parts that are stiff and tight in this way, they soften. Use the breath as a pool of love, as invited by that song in the beginning. We're going to slowly come out of puppy pose and slide forward into Sphinx pose. You're going to bring your knees behind you, lowering the front of your hips to the floor. Elbows will land directly under your shoulders. Your forearms will be at parallel and your fingers spread wide. Inhale, lifting up. Engaging the lower back, heart shines forward. This is a heart opener, gazing forward with your heart shining forward, leading with your heart like a flashlight, showing the way. 3 breaths here into every pocket of tightness. Notice the front of your hips on the floor and the tops of your feet on the floor. Steadiness, groundedness. Breathing into that heart space, pouring the breath into that pocket behind the heart that's often tight and stuck. Giving your heart space to fill. We often move through the world with tight hearts. Today is an invitation to soften and bathe that heart in a pool of love so you can show up that way in the world. Slowly curl your toes. Press back into child's pose to release the lower back. Always coming out of the arching of the back into something like child's pose to take good care. Knees apart, toes together. Sink your hips down and low and wiggle those fingers as far forward as you can. Lower your third eye, forehead to the earth. If it doesn't touch the earth, if you have a block, that's helpful. Taking a moment to put that forehead, third eye on the earth. Close your eyes and listen. Listen to any messages there. Practicing listening to our hearts, to our intuition. For many of us, we've stopped doing that. We've been so busy doing what we're supposed to. Yoga is a chance to practice, to pause, to listen. Noticing your heart space here, and with intention, allowing it to fill more fully. A depleted, tight, stuck heart can't lead. Refilling our collective hearts, nourishing our collective hearts so we can lead with collective hearts. When you're ready, coming back up to hands and knees, evening out your knees so they're hips width. Walk your hands forward, a handprint. Curl your toes, coming up to downward dog. You can have your feet together or apart or mat's width. Do whatever feels good to you. Take that dog for a walk, stretching each leg, bending one knee, straight the other. Enjoy it for a moment. And then come to stillness. As you come to stillness, notice your fingers, spread them wide to protect your wrists, connect your palms into the earth, reach your hips towards the sky as high as you can, lower your forehead towards the floor. Your hips are the apex here, reaching them tall, tall, tall. Press into your hands, lower your forehead a tiny bit more towards the floor. And enjoy this, all of the sensations in the back of the legs and the shoulders. And attend to your heart here, noticing your heart light against gravity in a position where it has an opportunity to fill more fully. Breathe into it, sending the breath and love and nourishment and nurturing all into the full chest, into the heart space. As you exhale, lower your heels towards the floor and enjoy. Huge breath in once again. Into the back of the chest, into the back of the heart space. Notice the bottom of the ribs filling with the breath, and exhale, long, slow, even release, using the breath as a conduit. Lower your heels a little farther towards the floor if you have any more room. Lower your forehead a little farther towards the floor if you have any more room. Noticing these tiny movements actually make big shifts. Many of us are in a hurry to do the big movements, but enjoy the tiny ones. Walk your hands slowly towards your feet, coming into a forward fold. Widen your feet, bend your knees, and bring your hands elbow to opposite elbow and release your head and neck towards the floor. Taking a moment to enjoy this. Lifting up all 10 toes and spreading them as wide as you can. Lower the toes towards the floor. Shift your weight into your toes.
Shift your weight into your heels. Shift to the left and to the right, finding your center. Huge breath into your chest and heart space and belly, even though they're all squunched up here. And a long, smooth, even release, upside down. One of the reasons we do inversions in yoga is to shift perspective. Take a moment to look back between your legs. Huge breath in once again, pouring that breath into every nook and cranny here. Different nooks and crannies than have been exposed thus far. And exhale, release. Lower your hands to the floor, engage your belly, and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch by inch. Your head will be the last to rise. Taking your time, letting the blood flow adjust. No hurry. Enjoying the blood pouring back into all the little pockets where it wasn't, and noticing those sensations. Lifting up all 10 toes and spreading them wide once again, rooting them downward into the earth like roots. We need to draw from deep within and deep within the earth in order to grow things, growing love, growing trust. Borrowing the earth's energy up through your legs, up to your knees, to your thighs, into your belly, tuck your pelvis, engaging your belly, aligning your spine all the way up through the crown of your head, stretching tall, huge breath in. Exhale, drop your shoulders, palms will open towards the front. Tadasana or mountain pose. Pause to enjoy this. Wiggle your fingers lightly, noticing your strength here. And mountain pose, while it might seem like standing, everything should be engaged. Huge drink of breath into that heart space, pouring it into your belly, into the pelvic region. And exhale, let it out. Inhale once again, breathing it in, pouring it into the belly. And exhale, let it out. Open your arms out and up towards the sky, bringing your hands together above your head, slight arch back, bringing hands to heart. Press your thumbs into your sternum and taking a moment to check in with that intention. That intention relating to love, leading with your heart front and center. Perhaps that power of collective hearts. Breathing in once again, in through your nose, pouring that breath all the way into your belly. And exhale, release and let it out. Lower your hands down by your hips, open them out and up once again, bringing them together over your head. Slight arch back, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Your heart is light, back is flat, your rear end sticking out, crown of the head reaching forward, sending some love to the back of the legs. Exhale, fold forward, release. Inhale once again for a half lift, spine straight, crown of the head reaching forward, back flat. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to plant our hands onto the floor, step back to plank, and pause for a moment in the top of the push-up. Connecting with your belly and your core and your strength here. Noticing everything that is working. Sending the breath here into that heart space, as you may notice a little bit of shaking. And press straight back up to downward dog and pause for a moment here. Huge breath in once again, right into that chest space, bathing every nook and cranny. And exhale, release and let it out. Engage your belly and raise your left leg towards the sky. Coming into three-legged dog, press your heel into the back wall. Everything engaged. Huge breath in. Exhale, bend the left knee, stack your hips, and roll that left ankle out. Enjoy the front of the left hip and the left glute. Creating space in your belly here. Re-square your hips. Huge breath in. Exhale, bring the left foot between your hands. Coming into warrior two, cartwheel your arms directly open. Bend that front knee. Your front knee should not be in front of your front ankle. If it is, wiggle those left toes farther forward. Arms are at shoulder height. Your feet should have a heel to heel alignment. Huge breath in as you stack your spine tall. Exhale, sink into your hips, bend your front knee, and pause here. Warrior two. Gazing over that left middle finger. Leading with your heart here. Notice your heart shining forward. Exhale, sink in a little bit more into this warrior two. Big breath in. And exhale, sink in a smidge more. Straight your front knee. Bring your right hips back, shift them back, tip all the way forward. We're gonna drop down into Trikonasana or triangle pose. If you have a block and you'd like to use it, you can use it here, or your hand can come to your left ankle. Reach your right hand open towards the sky, rolling your heart open, shining that heart upward, leading with the heart here. Wiggling your fingers, huge drink of breath in. Exhale, roll the heart open, roll the right shoulder up towards the sky. Gaze upward if it's okay for your neck. If it would feel good, drop your right hand into the left hip crease and roll your right shoulder open, creating tons of space and room in the heart space. Huge drink of breath in, bathing that heart space with all the good nutrients. And exhale, let it go. When we lead with something, we have to nourish it fully. One more huge breath into that heart space, bathing the entire area around it with breath, spaciousness, kindness, appreciation for all the beats every minute, all the love it carries and all the love it's shared. Exhale, let it out. Reach your right arm up towards the sky, rising back up. Bend back into warrior two. Front knee will bend. You're gonna bend your front left arm, reaching into side angle pose. Reach that right arm over the right ear, lengthen the whole right side body. Wiggle your right fingers, light. Make sure your left arm is not dumping into the left leg. You're light on that left forearm. Enjoy the whole right body, right side body here. Big breath into every nook and cranny. Wiggle the fingers lightly. Exhale, let it out. One more breath here. Noticing if your legs are shaking, everything in the legs engaged. Outer right foot connecting into the earth. Hips and groin awakened. Cartwheel back up to warrior two and pause. Gaze over that left middle finger. Inhale, lengthen your spine, align towards the sky. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, deep drink of breath. Exhale, bring your right hand down your right thigh. Reach your left arm coming into reverse warrior or peaceful warrior. Fan open the front left ribs and enjoy it. Huge drink of breath here. And exhale, let it out. Enjoying, sending the breath and the love and the nourishment everywhere. Healing and bathing every nook and cranny in this pool of love with intention. Knowing that we can do this as well. We often want other people to do it for us. But enjoy the breath, enjoy the kindness. Huge breath in, once again, into every little nook and cranny of that left rib cage as it fans open. Reaching those fingers toward the back crease between the back wall and ceiling if you're inside. Exhale, coming back to warrior two. Reach both arms up towards the sky. We're gonna hop the right foot out. Coming into warrior one, turn your hips towards the front. Inhale, stretch tall, lengthen both side bodies once again. And exhale, sink your hips down. Huge breath in here. Reach tall, tall, tall. Exhale, sink in. Bring your hands to heart center and your thumbs to your sternum, connecting the thumbs into the heart space. We're gonna tip into warrior three, leading with your heart here. Lift onto the tiptoes of your back foot, hop forward, shift your weight into the front foot and tip forward into warrior three. Having fun with it, lightness, letting the heart lead, pressing the thumbs into the sternum to Support the heart and the balance if you need. If you want to bring your arms forward or to the sides, do what works for you and your shoulders. As most of you know, I have a shoulder injury, so I keep my hands to heart. And there's a power in that hand to heart. Engage your hips. Press your heel towards the back wall. Slowly bringing your back foot to the earth. Reach your arms up to warrior one again. Taking a moment, tack your hips forward towards the front. Lengthen your side body. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Stretching every nook and cranny of the side body, aligning everything. Huge breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to either side of your foot. Hop your back foot forward to meet the front at the top of the mat. And pause here for a moment in a forward fold. Bringing your hands to opposite elbows, release your head and neck. And allow a moment to release, to breathe, and to find your center. Knowing your center is always there, we just have to pause to find it. Lifting up all 10 toes and lowering them down. Shift your weight forward and to the back, to the left and to the right, and find your center. And when you've found it, enjoy it for a moment. When we come from our center, it's much easier to lead with your heart. It's much easier to trust, to believe, and to listen to our intuition. Lower your hands to the floor and slowly roll up, inch by inch, unrolling your spine, enjoying every roll. When you arrive, take a moment, messy, and let yourself arrive. No rush. We so often in life don't take that moment to arrive. That's where we miss the presence. Taking the moment to be in the moment, to arrive, to notice, to let the blood flow, adjust and adapt. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Spread your toes wide. Send them down into the earth like roots and draw the earth's energy up right into your legs, to your kneecaps, to your thighs, to your belly. Tuck your pelvis. Engage that belly, every small muscle fiber. Align your spine and grow tall. Yoga allows you to grow and it allows you to align. And when we're aligned, things are easier. Breathing in, huge breath in. Drop your shoulders with intention, palms open towards the front, mountain pose. Notice that mountain pose has shoulders dropped. Breathing in once again into that heart space. Heart is light in mountain pose. Heart is leading, shining forward. Huge breath into the back of the heart space to support that heart shining forward. And a huge, long, cleansing, easeful exhale. Allowing the breath to support you. The breath is always available. Taking in one more big, cleansing, nourishing breath. And exhale, let it out. Reach your arms out and up towards the sky. Palms come together, slight arch back, and we'll fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Spine is straight, your rear end is sticking out. Flat back is flat. Exhale, fold forward. Place your palms on the earth. Step back to plank and pause for a moment in plank. Engage your belly tight and strong. Find your center here. If you wish, we're going to come into side plank. Drop your heels to the left. Reach your right arm towards the sky. Coming into side plank, have a little fun with it. If this doesn't work, bend one knee. Enjoy it. If you want, lower your right arm over your right ear and extend the whole left side body, creating room and space, wiggling your fingers. Huge breath in and out. Come back to plank, even yourself out. Take a moment and find your center, noticing you can find your center here. You can walk forward, rock back, drop your heels to the right, reach your left arm towards the sky, coming up into side plank here. If it's fun, drop your left arm over your left ear and enjoy. Huge breath in. Exhale, let it out. Once again, huge breath in. Exhale, let it out. We're going to come back to plank and pause. Shift your weight forward on your tiptoes. Lower your knees, lower to the floor, chaturanga. Pause for a moment. Third eye connects to the earth. A moment to listen. Weight is out of your hands. Inhale, lifting up, heart shines forward. Another moment for the heart to shine and lead. Lowering down, curl your toes, press up to downward dog and pause. Take a moment to catch your breath, come to stillness, and bring your mind and body and breath all to the same spot. Notice your heart space and how it feels now. Send the breath right into any pocket of the heart that needs some attention. Or perhaps setting an intention to encourage it to soften a little more. And many of you have held those heart spaces tight for a long time, doing what you were supposed to or you thought you needed to, raising children, getting to the end, softening that space a little bit, allowing yourself to listen to what's in there. Anytime is the time to begin to do that. Engage your belly. Notice your left toes and left ball of the foot. Raise your right leg towards the sky. Coming into three-legged dog. Press your heel into the back wall. Even everything engaged. Huge breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips, roll your right ankle. Enjoy the right glute, the right hip. Appreciating it for all its help, the mountains it's climbed. Sending love into every tight area that needs attention. Bathing your hip in this pool of love is a powerful practice. And why not? We often bathe it in criticism and frustration. I have a bum right hip, and I'm guilty of that. And yet, if I bathe it in love, it functions much better. Even your hip. Inhale, stretch your right heel long. Exhale, gently bring it forward, cartwheeling up into warrior two. Cartwheel those arms out and open. Gaze is over the right middle finger. Notice your hands, and if you're dumping one down, inhale and sink in. Notice if you need to wiggle your right toes a little farther forward. Engage that right glute. Tack your hips gently forward. Taking a breath here, aligning the spine all the way up through your core, engaging everything, reaching the crown of your head tall. Exhale, sink in. Once again, huge breath in. Exhale, sinking into the hips a little bit lower. Straight your right knee. Tilt your left hips back like the little teapot. Dropping into Trikonasana. Your right hand is going to come down to the right ankle. Left hand reaches towards the sky. Roll that heart open with intention. Reach the left hand towards the sky. Huge breath in. And exhale, let it out. Notice your heart space rolled open, shining, leading with your heart. Drop your left hand into the right hip crease if that feels good for your shoulder and your neck. Roll that left shoulder open and enjoy the heart roll here. Lots of space for the heart to expand and fill fully. When your heart can't fill fully, it can't eject fully, and nothing functions quite as well. It's hard to lead with your heart and live a full life when your heart is constricted. So yoga is a practice of making room for it to fill. Breathing in and out. Reach that left hand up. Rising back up to warrior two. Bend your front knee, bend your right elbow, coming into side angle pose. Extend your whole left side body here. Left arm reaches over the left ear. Engage that right glute, wrap it under, and make sure you're not dumping into that right arm or the right thigh. Extend the whole left side body. Outer edge of the left foot helping you, left fingers helping you. Bathing every nook and cranny in the left side body with love and kindness, nourishment and nurturing. Thanking it for all the children it's held on your hips, heavy things it's carried, surgeries it may have helped you do, furniture it's moved, all the things that our waists and side bodies and feet help us do. Rising back up to warrior two, pause here. Gaze over the right middle finger, align your spine, engage your belly, reaching tall on the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, grow your spine tall. Exhale, drop your left hand down the left thigh. Right arm reaches open, it's peaceful warrior. Fan open those right ribs and enjoy every nook and cranny in the right waist, right lower intercostal spaces. Breathing into it all. Your psoas may open here. Breathe in. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. Keeping it light. Coming back to warrior two. We're going to turn towards the front, reach both arms up towards the sky. Hop that left foot out about 6 to 8 inches. Coming into warrior one. Hips will swivel towards the front. Huge breath in, lengthen your side body. Tall, tall, tall. Your back heel may be on the ground. You'll have a little bit of a calf stretch here. Exhale, sink in. Bring your hands to heart center. Shift your weight into that front foot. Coming into warrior three. Thumbs will connect into the heart space. Reach your left leg towards the back wall. And enjoy the balance in whatever way it works. Letting yourself fly, leading with your heart. Finding your center, your balance. Having a little play and fun. Because why not? You can roll your back ankle if that feels good. Lower the back foot. Raise your hands up. Exhale, sink in a smidge. Warrior one. Tall and strong, graceful warrior poses. Notice your heart space here. Send that drink of breath, pouring it right down into this pocket behind your heart. Exhale, lower your hands on either side of your foot. Hop your back foot to meet the front. Engage your belly and roll up slowly. Inch by inch by inch by inch. Your head will be the last to rise. Taking a moment to adjust here, and then we'll slowly transition to lying on the floor today, but transition slowly. You can roll down, lie down in whatever way feels good. Allow yourself to arrive on the earth as well. Taking time to connect to the floor and to the earth beneath. And notice if it would feel good to have your legs extended or bent. And notice when you arrive the heart space. Notice your heart beating fast or slow. Notice if your breath is easeful or not. And attending to anything that needs attention. If your knees are not bent, bend them and bring your heels towards your buttocks. Bring your palms towards the floor. Press into the soles of your feet and your palms and your forearms. Lift your hips up. Coming into a bridge pose, shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Reach your hips high towards the sky. Engage your glutes. Your knees will connect energetically. If your feet are tucked too tightly under you, wiggle them a little farther forward. Reach your hips as high as you can. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you a tiny bit more. And notice your heart space here. Your heart is light, hanging, shining. Attending to this idea here of collective hearts, light hearts. So many hearts across the earth. What is the purpose of those hearts? What do we want it to be? And this idea of love, since that's what hearts are about. What would love do? Pick your hips up a little bit higher, reaching them towards the sky. Would it change something? Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Lift that heart even higher. Slowly untuck your shoulders and roll your spine down inch by inch by inch by inch until it reaches the earth. And pause messy. We often don't pause messy. Letting yourself enjoy the transition. Huge breath in, pouring it into every nook and cranny of the chest. And exhale, let it out. Bring your knees together and your feet apart. The outer edges of your feet will align with the sides of your mat. Reach your arms above you in an easy cactus shape, if it's okay for your neck, or a T. And if it's not, leave them by your sides. Huge inhale of breath, again, into that heart space. Right down as if it's going down the back of the esophagus, into the pocket in the retrocardiac space. Exhale, drop your knees to the right, coming into an easy twist. That left psoas will pop open. The left knee is connecting towards the right front corner of the mat. Pour the breath in through your nose all the way down the lines of the left side body to the left knee. Reach the left knee to the right front corner. Exhale, letting the breath flow outward through the same line. Breathing in more of the things that you would like, and breathing out anything getting in the way of those. One more long, nourishing, cleansing breath here. Gently bring your knees back to center, and if you need to reorganize your hips or shoulders, do so. Be kind. Taking in another long drink of breath. Drop your knees to the left. Your feet are still at the outer edge of the mat. Your right knee is going to extend towards the front left corner of the mat, and the right psoas will pop open. Breathing into the psoas. Lots of tension held there. Inviting it to soften. Exhale, release. Two more big breaths. Gently bringing your knees back to center, evening out your hips. Bring your left hand to heart and right hand to belly. And we'll bring the soles of our feet together, knees apart, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclining butterfly. A nourishing, healing, restorative pose. One that attends to love and self-care. Noticing your heart under your left hand. Taking a moment to send attention to that heart space. Noticing if there's anything that heart space needs, wants, desires. Perhaps sending it good wishes, hopes, and dreams. And sending your attention to the right hand on your belly. Taking a listen there. What are the messages? Anything there needs, desires, attention. We all get messages from different parts in our bodies. Learning to listen to where your messages come is a powerful practice rather than just ignoring them. That is how we move forward, living a life of alignment where our heart leads the way. Learning to listen is the first step. Sending some breath into that groin area, inviting it to release. Sending love and care and appreciation for all that that area of our body has done for us. And gently bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs and draw your knees together. We'll extend our legs long, coming into Shavasana. If you want to use a blanket or a bolster or something, feel free to grab it. Allowing your body to come into complete relaxation, to surrender. I had a client who gave me a new definition of surrender, which I love, which is to lay down your arms and wait for direction. And so in Shavasana, we lay down our arms about 6 inches from our waist, palms open, and we soften and relax. And it's really a practice of letting go and just waiting for the next information, waiting for the directions, waiting for your next step. It's a process of healing and restoring and integrating. But for many of us, this idea of just letting go completely is a lot. And so it's a temporary waiting for the next set of information. So taking in a huge inhale in through your nose, and an exhale, release, relaxing in, softening, resting, and waiting. Gently, with love, begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And if it would feel good, stretch your arms long above and your toes long in front, taking a huge inhale, sending the breath, love, kindness, care into every nook and cranny. Refilling any tiny nook and cranny that hasn't been attended to yet today. And a long, smooth, cleansing exhale, letting go of anything left that needs to be left here on this mat. Bringing your knees into your chest and rolling over to one side. Pausing for a moment to noticing how it feels to bathe your body in a pool of love and to allow yourself to connect with your heart, with your desires, with your wishes, and to connect with this idea of leading from your heart. Maybe not yet doing it, or maybe doing it 1% more or 5% more, but connecting with the possibilities there. And when you're ready, press into your hands and slowly come up to a comfortable seat where we began. When you arrive, find your sit bones. Reconnect the ischial spines into the earth, tilting your pelvic bowl forward and aligning your spine, stacking, growing, and lengthening towards the sky. Breathing in a long drink of breath and stretching your crown of your head towards the sky.
Exhale, drop your shoulders with intention. Palms open on your knees, wiggling your fingers lightly. With eyes closed, back in that Shavasana mindset, taking a moment here, palms open, heart open, to just allow the invitation of moving forward with a little more love. Moving forward with your heart leading the way, front and center. Moving forward with love. And as I share that, I know that that is how Suzi lived and how she would want all of us to continue her legacy. Bring a hand to heart and another hand atop, sealing in your intention for moving forward. Sending yourself love, kindness, and good wishes. Refilling that heart even a little bit more, topping it off, as we say. Bringing your hands together, rubbing them together, press the thumbs into the sternum, connecting into the heart space, finger pads reach towards the sky, elbows out wide, taking in a huge inhale and an exhale. May you all have a beautiful week ahead filled with much love. Namaste.